ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। तः किं निशा स्मरति यासु तदा प्रियाभिर्। वृंदावने कुमुदकुंद शशांक करम्ये। रेमे क्वणच्चरण नुपुर रास गोष्ठयाम। अस्माभिरीडिता मनोंजना कथा कदाचित्। ता किं निशा स्मरति यशु तदा प्रियाभिर्। वृंदावने कुमुदकुंद शशांक रम्ये। रेमे क्वणच्चरणानुपुर रसा गोष्ठ्याम। अस्माभिरीडित मनोंजन कथा कदाचित्। तः किं निशा माता जी उसके बाद में those kim whether nisha nights smarati he remembers yasu in which tada then priyabhi with his beloved girlfriends Vrindavane in the Vrindavan forest. Kumud because of the lotuses. Kunda and jasmines. Shashanka and because of the moon. Ramye, attractive. Reme, he enjoyed. Kwanat, jingling. Charana Nupura, where the ankle bells. Ras Goshthyam, in the party of the Rasa dance. Asmabhi, with us. Idita, glorified. Manojna, charming. Katha, topics about whom. Kadachit, ever. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Disciples of A.C. Bhaktivedanta. Disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Does he recall those nights in the Vrindavan forest, lovely with lotus, jasmine, and the bright moon? As we glorified his charming pastimes, he enjoyed with us his beloved girlfriends in the circle of the Rasa dance, which resounded with the music of ankle bells. Purport. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti gives the following deep realization about this verse. The gopis knew that no place could be as beautiful as Vrindavan. Nowhere else in the universe could one find such a charming scene as the Vrindavan forest, which was scented with pious flowers and illumined by the full moon's light reflected from the serene waves of the sacred Yamuna river. No one loved Krishna as much as the gopis, and thus no one else could understand him as well. The gopis rendered intimate service to Krishna that only they could perfect. Thus the gopis were distraught to think that Lord Krishna was bereft of Vrindavan and bereft of their service. Free of all material lust, they were overwhelmed with disappointment because they could not give Krishna happiness by their loving service. They simply could not imagine Krishna enjoying anywhere else as he did in Vrindavan in their company.
Om Jnana Timirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurn Miditam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Tathati Shapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jatapada Kamalang, Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha, Shri Rupam Shagrashatam, Sahagana Raganatan Vitam Stam Sajivam, Sadvaitam Savadhutam, Parijana Sahitam, Krishna Chaitanya Devam, Shri Radha Krishna Padan, Shahagana Lolita Sri Vishakhan Vitamscha E Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kamshana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamhami Hori Priye Vanchako Patarubhyascha Kripa Sindho Pyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Ta kim nisha smrati yasu tada priya bhir Vrindavane Kumura Kunda Shashanka Ramye Reme Kwanach Charananu Pura Rasa Goshtyam Asmabhir Irita Manogya Kata Kadachit. The gopis are inquiring from Uddhava. Now Krishna's in Mathura. He's surrounded by the city girls, and he's all busy in the enjoyment of Mathura city. So he must have forgotten about Vrindavan and the cows and about us. Kadachit, does he sometimes ever think of us? Kadachit means sometimes ever. Kim, does he ever remember those activities here in Vrindavan? Nisha. Nisha means activities in the night time. Rasa Goshtya, the festival of the Rasa dance, is not a daytime activity. It's performed at night, Shashanka, when the moon is there, and the lotuses, jasmine. The jasmine also are not daytime flowers, and these are night blooming lotuses. So in the evening, the moon was there, the lotuses are there, the jasmine. And this is all possible Vrindavane, in Vrindavan. The Mathura city doesn't provide a forest with beautiful lotuses and jasmine. It's a city. Just like we have our farms and we have our Juhu and so on. So in Juhu, we're not going to pet the cows and have rural activities. We'll be busy, we'll jump on the metro and we'll go and perform. We'll make some life members or distribute books. Because this is the city, Mahanagar. Even now Vrindavan has become Mahanagar Vrindavan. But the eternal Vrindavan is just like a forest. And in that forest, the gopis came to be with Krishna. Krishna was playing his flute, and the gopis responded. They came out to be with him. And the rasa dance activities were performed. So these wonderful activities are only possible in Vrindavan. Only Vrindavan gives the atmosphere, and in any place else from Vrindavan than Vrindavan, these activities are not suitable. In Mathura we can kill Kamsa, we can do other things, but there's no rasa dance in Mathura. No rasa dance. And there's no village girls, only sophisticated women of the city. So they're certainly attractive, and maybe they've bewildered the mind of Krishna. But does he ever remember Vrindavan and the beautiful atmosphere of the forest with his Priyabhi, his beloved cowherd friends, cowherd girlfriends? Does he ever remember that? That means that's natural when one is feeling separation. Does my wife think of me? Are my children thinking of me? Do my friends think of me? So the gopis are inquiring that way, and that means they're thinking of Krishna. Elsewhere they complain that Krishna may give up thinking about us, but we can't give up thinking about him. Maybe Krishna, he's Bhagavan, he has 6 opulences. He can just renounce us and forget us. But we can't forget Krishna. That's not possible. And to make it worse, the sages are always glorifying him, talking about him. So even if we try to forget him, then the sages also make it more difficult. And anyway, we can't give up thinking of Krishna. This is the spontaneous love of the gopis. The conditioned souls have it easy. They can easily forget Krishna. You give him the latest iPhone and he forgets all about Krishna. You give him anything. If there's a big soccer match, cricket match, then he'll forget all about Krishna. Even the so-called devotees will forget about Krishna because of the strong impressions of this material world, the strong attachments of this material world. Krishna, what is that? Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Satya Kabunoi Pravanadi Shukta Chitte Koriyayudoi. The love for Krishna is there within the heart of everyone, and it can be awakened by Shravanadi, by hearing, by chanting. But that means that now it's sleeping. It's there, but it's dormant. It's dormant. And so some method has to be devised or followed by which that dormant Krishna consciousness can be awakened. Otherwise, we'll go on sleeping, go on sleeping, go on sleeping. That's the position of material life. Therefore, Mahaprabhu, Kota Nidra Jao Maya, Sisachira Kole. How long will you go on sleeping? And you're thinking that you're sleeping in a very nice place. No, you're sleeping on the lap of a witch. Sisachira Kole. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is calling. Jeev Jaga, wake up, wake up, wake up. Due to our sleeping condition, we think it's better to sleep. Yanusha Sarvabhutanam Tasyam Jagrati Sarvabhutanam. But the gopis are on the opposite side. We're lucky if we can remember Krishna a little bit. But they can't forget Krishna, even for a moment. That's the standard of the gopis. Not by practice, not because they have good sadhana, not because they're chanting good rounds, but because it's their very nature to be absorbed in love for Krishna. That's the standard. Ta kim nisha smarati. Smaran, always thinking of Krishna. They're always speaking about Krishna. Here they're also speaking to Uddhava about Krishna. And they're eager to hear about Krishna. And smaran, remembering. Smarati. What is that? Smaran mukva kalevara yaprayati smadbhavam. What's the beginning? Antakale chamameva smaran muktva kalevara yaprayati samadbhavam yati nasya prasangshaya. At the end of life, antakale, if one can remember Krishna, smaran muktva kalevara, give up this body in Krishna consciousness, yaprayati samadbhavam, he becomes situated in the same platform as me, spiritual platform. Yaprayati samadbhavam yati. So he comes to me. Nastyatra samshaya, no doubt about it. So that's our aspiration. Ante Narayana Smriti, to remember Krishna at the time of leaving this world. But the gopis are always thinking of Krishna. Smarati, Priyabhi, they're very dear to Krishna. Krishna is very dear to them. Preme, and Krishna's enjoying pleasure in Vrindavan that's not available elsewhere. In Vaikuntha, all right, we get worshipped as a great king, as the great Supreme Lord. That's very nice. The devotees are all dedicated to serving our lotus feet. Very nice. But that kind of devotion is not the same as the devotion of the Brajvasis. The Vaikuntha devotion is formal, you can say a little stiff, all according to protocol. In Vrindavan, no protocol. Krishna, what is this nonsense? You stop this now. And the elder gopis are complaining, this nonsense rascal boy is doing this, he's doing that, he's stealing our butter, he's pinching our kids, he's causing mischief wherever he goes. Vaikuntha, you can't say these things. But in Vrindavan, this is the standard. This is the standard. If you go home now, and just when our playing is at the peak, we'll never play with you again. We'll never play with you again. Yashoda is calling. Your father can't eat without you. You think you're a street boy? You have no home? You get home. No, if you go home, we're not going to play with you anymore. These affairs are there in Vrindavan, not Vaikuntha. Even in Mathura. Therefore, Vrindavanam partyacha padamekam nakashchati. Krishna never leaves, never takes even so much as a step outside of Vrindavan. Because of the enjoyment. Enjoyment means devotional service. The standard of devotional service found in Vrindavan is not found anywhere else, even in Mathura, to say nothing of Vaikuntha. So in the Vrindavan forest, the rasa pastimes were going on. Shardana Nupura, the ankle bells are ringing, and so many dancing is going on, singing is going on. Iritana Manogya Kata. And these topics are Manogya. They're charming, pleasing to the mind. Manohara, they steal the mind. Krishna is all attractive. And Krishna means Krishna, Vrindavan, cowherd boy, gopis, Nanda Yashoda, Jamuna, Giri Govardhan. This is Krishna's not attractive alone. But Krishna's attractive with his associates, his pastimes, his paraphernalia, his Vrindavan place. So the gopis are inquiring this way. Does Krishna sometimes think of us? Does Krishna sometimes remember us? That's there. These questions they're asking in separation. And the commentators also have an implication that he's with those useless women of Mathura, what about us? Doesn't he think of us? Is he just infatuated with those over-sophisticated city women? Is he so foolish? Out of ecstasy, of course, all the city women of Mathura are Vaishnavas, but it's not a Vaishnava aparat, it's a symptom of ecstasy that they're thinking that what will Krishna get in Mathura associating with these sophisticated women? We know that Krishna enjoys more in the forests of Vrindavan. Therefore, in Puri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the same mood, was feeling disappointed that Krishna is here, but he's surrounded by chariots and army and all rattle of military gear. So we want to be with Krishna, but not in this atmosphere, not in the battle dress and in this royal role. We want Krishna in Vrindavan. So the Ratha Yatra is performed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with that feeling of bringing Krishna back to Vrindavan, to where he can be served with the greatest spontaneous love. All right, some questions, some comments.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Is over dependence on someone's mercy is also not good?
Is what?
Over dependence on mercy is also not good.
Is over-dependence on mercy also not good? Well, your question has an implication built into it. Over-dependence. Over-dependence says it's not good. Like oversleep, it means sleep too much. Overeat means sleep too much. So your question is circular. Is too much dependence too much? So Let's have it again without the circularity. Is dependence on mercy bad? No. Dependence on mercy is always good. We're always dependent on Krishna. But dependence on mercy is always good. The more we feel dependent on Krishna's mercy, the better our position. What can I accomplish without Krishna's mercy? Even Arjuna, after the departure of Krishna, couldn't do anything. My bow has become as good as a magic wand. It's useless. But dependence on mercy doesn't mean that I become slack and inactive and wait for the mercy to drop. That's not dependence on. We're dependent on Krishna's mercy, but not that we'll become inactive and wait for Krishna's mercy to come. Until then, I'll be busy on looking at Facebook or doing something else. No. We should be very eager for Krishna's mercy. Eager. If I'm dependent on Krishna's mercy, then I should be eager to get Krishna's mercy. How do I get Krishna's mercy? Of course, it's causeless, but we should act in such a way that Krishna's tendency to be merciful will be directed toward me. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada used to say that don't try to see Krishna, but act in such a way that Krishna will want to see you. Yayatama, Krishna responds. So he sees this fellow is sitting around like a loafer doing nothing and waiting for mercy to come. And this person is very eager to serve. He's always doing something, always doing something. Let's give him some mercy. Krishna reciprocates. He can always give more mercy. He's not bound by rules. But his general tendency, when he sees that you're serving, then he wants to give more mercy. Okay.
Hare Krishna. In addition to this answer only, that when we please superiors and when we please seniors or Lord, then as you told that we get mercy. So what is that mercy? In what form we get the mercy?
When we please seniors or the Lord, we get mercy. What constitutes that mercy?
Yes. In which way? What is that mercy which we get?
What is the mercy? You get the mercy of wanting to serve more. When you serve Krishna and you get Krishna's mercy, mercy means you get more service. You're chanting Hare Krishna, begging for mercy. What mercy do you get? Mercy is that you want to chant more. That's the mercy. Not that, there are other spiritual methods. You practice something and then the result is you get something else. You're doing some puja and you merge with God, or you do this and you get that. But our process and our result are the same. We're begging for mercy. What is that mercy? Service. We want more service. And the more you serve, the more you want to serve, and the more you get to serve. Our Mahatma Prabhu, my godbrother, he teaches some seminars about japa, because sometimes our tendency is, 12 rounds left. I still have 6 rounds left. I have to chant my rounds. But he's given us that our attitude should be, I get to chant my rounds. Like I get to take prasadam. It's a pleasure, privilege. I get to chant. Whoa, So that will be the mercy. But now I'm out of obedience, I'm somehow chanting 16 rounds, or I'm chanting, it's nice. But mercy means that I love to chant. I want to chant more. Chanting is so nice. Rupa Goswami, I wish I had thousands of ears, thousands of tongues, then I could chant. Chanting, hearing, same thing. Vayam tu navatripyam. We don't get tired. We want to go on hearing and hearing. Serving. Hearing, chanting, remembering, serving. We want to do this. I have to do this. I get to do this. You mean I get to do the arati? I get to lead the kirtan? I get to take part in the kirtan? Oh, so nice. Okay. Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you Maharaj for the class. Maharaj, you mentioned the Maharaj, you mentioned the words Antakalecha Mameva. So if I chant this Gauranga name.
If you chant this?
Gauranga.
Gauraka?
So
Gauraka matlab?
Gauranga Mahaprabhu.
Gauranga.
Gauranga.
I heard Gaurava. Gauranga.
Gauranga. So can I go home, back to God?
Quickly.
Another question is, Maharaj, you mentioned that there is a conditioning is there and Maya is also attacking so many ways. So how to maintain this Krishna consciousness and advance?
The conditioning is there. So how to make advancement in Krishna consciousness? Chant Hare Krishna. Follow 4 regulative principles strictly. Get up early in the morning, attend Mangala arati. Take Krishna prasadam. Associate with devotees. Serve the spiritual master. Serve the devotees. In other words, nothing new. I haven't come with a new message from America or something. You know, we've discovered in our labs, we've discovered a faster, better way. Same thing.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj, for clearly elaborating Vaikuntha mood and Vrindavan mood by so many examples. Maharaj, gopis are feeling that Krishna is missing our best service. That gives him the highest pleasure. So a devotee can also feel that I can offer the best service. Why he is given that service? I should be doing that service. Then how to identify it?
Gopis are feeling that Krishna is missing best service, that is to say, our service. And we may also feel that I'm doing the best service. Why is he being given this job? I do it better. So the difference is that the gopis are feeling that way out of spontaneous love. And we're feeling that way out of spontaneous envy. I'm thinking that I'm the most important person, that I'm great, I have some inflated idea of myself. And so I'm always thinking that I'm better than others. If others are less, then I'm more. So I'm always going on thinking about how great I am. Even the tendency is still there in the devotional path to think, yes, I'm better than others. And Krishna doesn't appreciate that. Krishna doesn't appreciate that. But when it's coming from the platform of spontaneous love, then it's appreciated. Same thing. So many things materially, just like so many things. On this platform of spontaneous love, it will be appreciated. And on the platform of our material conditioning, it will not be appreciated at all. Even like the spontaneous devotees, they can say, Krishna, you're nonsense. What are you doing? You should do this, you should do that. But if our pujaris start talking to the deities, oh, Krishna, you should do this, you should do that, then it's just shobha. Maybe we've heard that some advanced devotees are speaking to the deities that way, so we think we're also outboss the deity around. Hey, Rasbihari, eat. Managers find out, they'll throw you off the altar. But the advanced devotees, they can lie down on the altar. Mentioned in nectar devotion. They can lie down on the altar even, out of spontaneous love. But if we imitate that, it's not the same thing. Transcendental lust and material lust are two different things. Transcendental envy and material envy are two different. Yes. Yeah, but you have to switch it on.
Maharaj, you just now approved that Gauranga, if you chant, then quickly you go back to Godhead. Then quickly you go back to Godhead.
Yes.
So we also read in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Prabhupada writes that the prominence should be given to the name Krishna. And thus Hare Krishna should be popularized, and that's what Srila Prabhupada did. So then how to...
Yes, but before we chant, we're Hare Krishna, we chant Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasari Gaurava. Then Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Mahajanayena Kata Sapanta. We have to follow. Not that because Gauranga Nam is so quickly affected, now my kirtan will just be Gauranga, Gauranga, but Gauranga, 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 Gauranga. No. We have to follow. Just like sometimes, anyways, some prescription, you hear this is the most powerful medicine. But if you just go into the drugstore and say, give me the most powerful medicine. No, you have to take what the doctor prescribes, correct dosage. So the acharyas have prescribed, you can Gauranga. But not only Gauranga, not Hare Krishna. But we chant Jaya Sachinandana, we chant Gauranga. But Prabhupada said our main emphasis should always be on Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Maharaj, you mentioned one point that the devotees who are residing in Vaikuntha Dham, they are following some rules, regulation and standards. And the another is the Brajavasis, they have no standard, they are just dealing with Krishna as friendly. So there is in Krishna's eyes, there any differentiation between two devotees? It is really like that the residents of Vaikunthas, they are not attain that special standard which Brajavasis carry in their heart. So in Krishna's eyes, there is any differentiation just as
Krishna?
In Krishna's eyes, there is any differentiation between two devotees?
Yes. Krishna sees the difference.
One more thing that
Therefore, Krishna responds to the devotees who want to serve Krishna according to the strict protocols and all, with awe and veneration. Krishna appears as Narayan with Shankha Chakra Gada Padma as a great royal figure, and he reciprocates their devotion. And in Vrindavan, he'll play his flute and he'll exchange according to their devotion. Not that Krishna has to see everything as being the same. In different moods. So Krishna, just like if you love your job, so that's very good. You respond to your boss in a certain way, but not the same way as if you love your wife. You respond differently according to, right? So Krishna, he's not like a stone, that he sees everything as being the same. He responds according to, with the cowherd boys, he's like a friend. With Nanda Yashoda, he's like a child. With the gopis, he's like a lover. With the Vaikuntavasis, he's Lord. So, yeyatamam prapadyante.
So, in our Vedic Bhakti, there we are hearing that we should supposed to follow all standards, rules, regulation till the end of our life. So, in case some devotees not attain to able to that perfectional stage of life as a Brajavasis, so there is any loss which where attain the
A little slower, please.
So, in Vedic Bhakti, we are hearing that we are supposed to follow the all rules, regulations, standards, which is really required. So, in due course of time, suppose the devotee, someone is not able to attain that perfectional stage of his life, as Brajavasis, the mood they are carrying their heart. So they will go to Vaikuntha Dham. So there is any loss.
He can go to Vaikuntha, or he can be promoted for further progress according to Krishna's desire. Krishna may see he's looking for this. Krishna may promote him accordingly, arranging things in such a way. Also, there are two sides. You know, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur designed an emblem for Gaudiya Math. And on one side was a bell and something else representing the Vaidhi mark, the deity worship, and the official, not official, the Pancharatriki activities for purification and advancement. And on the other side, Kartal Mridanga and printing press. A rag mark. Ragmark he didn't draw a picture of, a little Babaji colony in Radhakund. The Mridanga and the printing press. So we don't want to be just bell ringers, that we just perform some formal worship and that's our whole business. But our business is very vigorously to spread the message of Krishna. So Hari Kirtan, book distribution. That's, if you're looking, like, the questions are always kind of like, what's the quick way? So this is the quick way. Distribute books. Preach the message of Krishna. And very quickly you'll attract the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, mercy of Mahaprabhu, mercy of your spiritual master. That's the fast track.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, how to know that...
First of all, how do you start? By holding the microphone close to your mouth.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
That's not close, that's close to your chin. Mouth.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Thank you.
How to know that we are doing any seva or work?
You started well, but then you switched paths. You went back to the chin.
How to know that we are doing any seva or any work, that we are detached with that or we are attached with that? And
If we're doing some seva, are we attached to that, detached from that? How to know this? I don't know.
is
We have to know.
careless.
We just have to do it. Spiritual master said, do this, we do it. You may be attached, not attached. It's not that Arjuna had special attachment for killing his grandfather, killing his friends, but he did it. He didn't think, am I attached? Am I not attached? Krishna wants me to do it, let me do it, that's all. So I've given some duty by my Guru Maharaj or by spiritual seniors. So let me do it, that's all. I may be attached, not attached, but let me do it.
One more thing, Maharaj, in that time we are, and one more thing that we are, in that time we do carelessness also. In that, how to verify that?
Some in our service we do some carelessness, how to verify that. Usually your seniors will verify it for you. That's one advantage of having seniors. When I'm on my own, I think whatever I'm doing is very nice. But when the seniors are there, hey, rascal, what are you doing? Prabhupada was like that, sometimes pictures painted these days that Prabhupada was just like such a loving person and he just accepted everything you do and it was so nice and he was so accepting of whatever we did. Whoa, that's the mythology. I was just in the Veda base looking at something else this morning. And I saw that Prabhupada's talking to Gunarnava Prabhu, one of my godbrothers, Vrindavan, and he was asking something about the guest house, whether it's working okay. And Gunarnava said, yes, everything's okay. And Prabhupada immediately, then why this, why this, why this? Well, Srila Prabhupada, we don't have money. Then why do you say it's okay?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for the wonderful lecture. Maharaj, in chapter 9 NOD, it is written that the person who has executed many great sacrifices will attain the result of his pious activities, but when such results are finished, he has to take birth again on the earthly planet. However, the person who has once offers respects bowing down before the deity will not come back to this world because he will go directly to the abode of Krishna. Now, Maharaj's question is that there are several times, these are very nice sentences and paragraphs which give immense motivation to neophyte like us. But we also hear that there are different stages in devotional service. Like
We hear that.
that there are different stages in devotional service, and also there is like Nishtha, Anarth Nivriti, then Prema Bhava, like that. So here it is written that just once offer obeisances, directly you will go back to God, to Krishna next life. So many people, they pay obeisances, they will go back to God directly in the next life. And also in other stages, we hear so many lectures like in which it is mentioned that we have to do this, we have to do that, we have to follow these things. There are so many steps, we have to cross it. Then you will go to back to God. So there are two things which is mentioned.
So there are two sides. On the one side, if you just bow down before the deities, you can at once be promoted to the Vaikuntha world. If you just see the Ratayatra card, you can at once go back to Godhead, and so on. There are so many statements like that. And on the other side, you have to get free from all material desires. If there's a pinch of material desire, you can't go back to Godhead. You have to attain Narta Nivriti, then you have to get a Sakti, Nishtha, Sakti, Prema.
Yes.
Otherwise you can't go. So it appears contradictory. Srila Prabhupada explains in Nectar of Devotion that these results are possible. That you can bow down once before the deity and attain perfection. And the different examples are given from Shastra, different statements are given from Shastra. All of these things can happen. But Prabhupada says they don't always happen. It can be. And the point is that these are spiritual activities. Your sacrifices and fruitive activities. Your sacrifice, your charity, your austerity, your fruitive activities, they may get you some higher birth, they may get you to Svarga Loka. That's all they'll do. One won't get love of Krishna by austerity or by charity or by yajna. But by bowing down before the deity, even once, you can get love for Krishna. By chanting the holy name of the Lord, one can get love for Krishna. So that means these are transcendental methods. They're not on the same level. And even it can happen if someone just chants once. Therefore, there was some meeting in the home of Raghunath Das Goswami's father and uncle. And Haridas Thakur was there. There was some discussion among the Brahmins about the glories of the holy name. And some Brahmin was glorifying the holy name, that just chanting Harinam one time is equal to performing 10,000 Ashwamedha Yajnas. So Haridas Thakur said, this is Namaparad. You've compared the transcendental Harinam to these material Ashwamedha Yajnas. This is Namaparad. He's thinking this is a great glorification. No, this is an insult to the holy name. Holy name's not on the platform of material activities. So all of these transcendental benedictions are possible. But we're not told that you just come to the Mangala arati, bow down before the deity, and then you go sleep for the rest of the day. And why are you sleeping? No, I bow down before the deity. I'm waiting for the Vaikuntha airplane. You should be very eager to get Krishna's mercy this way, this way, this way, that way. And so many opportunities are given.
We have to follow the Prabhupada instruction. Even these statements are there, still we have to follow it as a respect for Prabhupada and all our acharyas.
Not just that, but yes, we have to follow it, but all of those things will benefit us. It's not just bowing down before the deity will benefit us. Getting up early in the morning will benefit us. Following 4 regulative principles will benefit us. Distributing books will benefit us. Cleaning the temple floor will benefit us. Everything that we're asked to do for the service of Krishna will benefit us. So we don't want just like one opportunity. Like a good, these first-class businessmen, they don't just have one thing. They've got like 10 things going,
Yes.
Something will, this one doesn't really do anything but this one made, 10 crore.
Got it.
So we're eager to do all of these things.
Thank you very much, Maharaj.
Maharaj, actually I was hearing Srila Prabhupada lecture. Srila Prabhupada mentioned that, Surasya Dhara Nishita Duratyaya. The path of spiritual realization is very difficult. It is sharp like a razor edge. And in another lecture, Srila Prabhupada also mentioned, right, even while running with this eyes closed on this path, he will never trip or fall. So these two statements of scriptures, I heard in Srila Prabhupada lecture, so it is contradicting me. So it is a great.
It seems contradictory that in the Katha Upanishad it's said
yes, Maharaj.
that the path of spiritual realization is like a razor's edge. You have to be so careful. And elsewhere in Srimad Bhagavatam it's said that Harinam is so glorious that even if you're chanting with your eyes closed and running, you'll attain perfection.
Yes.
That's the difference between the path of impersonal, gradual spiritual realization and the path of devotional service. Those who are trying to follow the path of gradual spiritual realization, neti, coming from Brahma, then up to what is Brahma, Tato Brahma Jigyasa, following the path of gradual speculative progress, or piety and so on. They have to be so careful. Those who are chanting Hare Krishna, they can run with their eyes closed.
Maharaj, one more doubt. As it is mentioned.
Which doesn't mean we should be careless about devotional service, but it means that chanting Harinam is so much superior to following the path of gradual spiritual realization through the Upanishads and Vedic literature.
So can we understand in this manner, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is mentioned, right? So even if we are chanting for millions of years, but we are simultaneously committing offenses, which like we are cutting a razor's edge. So can we consider this as, razor edge in our devotional life?
Can we
To be
consider
careful.
this as, yeah, we should be careful. It's not that the spirit path of spiritual realization is like the razor's edge, except if I'm a devotee. And then this way, that way, doesn't matter. I can just do everything with my eyes closed. We should be very careful. One should serve Krishna with great care and attention. We should see to all the details. Not that we're, doing everything. Well, it's said in Shastra, you could do it with your eyes closed, so I'm going to close my eyes and distribute books. I'll close my eyes and do everything with great attention. But even somehow, if we have to run with our eyes closed, Krishna is so affectionate to his devotees that he'll help.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I think this is about the last question because
There is
it runs out.
There is a question by one student. So he's asking Maharaj, I have two brothers who worship and believe in demigods, and I have tried to convince them of worshipping Krishna, but they are still not convinced. What should I do?
You have two brothers who are worshipping demigods, and you've tried to convince them to worship Krishna, but they're not listening, they're not responding. What should you do? Try any one of the other 1 billion brothers that you have in India. Why just waste time on these two poor fools? If they're not interested, there's so many other people who may take interest. So we'll try. We're associated with them, we'll try. All right. It's like, who was that? Gopinath Acharya. He was, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya seemed like a lost cause, but still he was trying. But not that because he's my brother, that is to say, we have a bodily relationship. So I'm going to invest my energy in these two bodily relationship people who are not interested. Let me find out those who are interested. There are so many others who will be interested. Not that I have to dedicate myself to my so-called brothers. And there, I know I see 1 or 2 or more hands, but I also see that it's 10 after 9, and this very severe warning is here. That we're supposed to stop at 9:10. And I want to be respectful of your time also. So we'll stop here. Okay, certain people have privileges. Mike, DJ. I actually stopped 2 minutes early, so just in case.
Hare Krishna. Maharaj, many devotees here in audience, they do not know about you. So I wanted that when you have first meeting with Srila Prabhupada and how you have come to Krishna consciousness.
Well, good thing that the class is about to end. We don't need much time. I first joined in 1968 in New York City. I joined by coming to the temple. I'd received the Prabhupada's book not Prabhupada's book, Prabhupada's record, Hare Krishna record album. And so I knew something, a little bit, whatever Prabhupada had explained on the record, and I knew the chant. So then I came, and and then 2 months later Prabhupada came. That sort of makes the long story short. I've written a book, Vanity Karma, which is generally not available in India, but it's available as an e-book in India. And there the story is told at a little bit longer length. But that's the long and the short of it, that I came and I liked the chanting, I liked the philosophy, I liked the prasadam, I liked the people. And that was that. Basically I came and I never left. I had lots of opportunities to leave after that, but I still like the chanting, I still like the prasadam, I still like it, and so on. I still like the people.
Very nice.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Gaur Premanande.